competing when you are the main event, the main attraction on stage. And impressive to see just how much jiu-jitsu they can do with that much pressure.
Yeah, not just that. It's also the bright lights. Like they really are on a stage, and if you're not used to it, they're definitely something that can affect you, can affect your judgment. But to be able to keep a clear mind and to be able to perform under the bright lights and still be technical and still be efficient and still have the wherewithal to not give up points, to not give up position, very, very, very impressed with these guys.
We will be right back with our next match after this break. Coming up next is Leandro Houn versus Leonardo Santos. That's up after this break. Seconds.
Isso, já começou com guerra. Já começamos a noite com uma grande guerra aí. Mas eu gostaria de agradecer, antes de darmos continuidade à nossa noite, gostaria de agradecer aos nossos patrocinadores que nos ajudam nesse grande show de lutas casadas. Kings, Spaten, Future, Hissi Law, Fighter's Choice, Iron Belts, Café Origami, Keiko Sports e também os nossos apoiadores, Jimenez Eventos, Complexo Tempo, Dojo Lonas, Instituto Inster e Anjos do WOD. Agora, pessoal, se vocês olharem ao cubo aqui, vocês estão aqui na arena olhando o nosso cubo aqui em cima, vai aparecer uma imagem aqui para você participar de uma super ação do nosso patrocinador Kings. As premiações, se você participar, escaneia, pega seu celular, você vai participar e você pode ganhar mochila conversível, pochete, side bag. Você pode apontar o celular e já escanear, vai ter uma ficha ali, você vai preencher e aí então você vai poder entender como participar. Vou dar um minutinho para você fazer isso agora, tá aparecendo aí, pode fazer e entrar na promoção. Vamos aproveitar, galera, não perde essa oportunidade. E agora, vambora! Chamando a segunda luta da noite, um oferecimento Iron Belts. Representando a equipe Lotus Clube, Leandro Houn.
Representing Lotus Club, Leandro Houn making his walk to the mat right now. He will be taking on Leonardo Santos. Houn, a very, very dangerous loop choker. Excited to see what he can come up with.
He's been very active this year. He's got 18 matches from what I saw, 7 subs, 4 of them footlocks. A busy, busy guy. Looking to end out the year strong.
E para enfrentá-lo, representando a equipe Aliança, Rio de Janeiro, Leonardo Santos!
Representing Alliance Rio, Leonardo Santos, the rookie black belt. He received his black belt on the podium this year after winning Worlds as a brown belt, looking to take on the veteran in Leandro Houn.
And it's always interesting when you see these rookie black belts coming out. They're getting younger. They're getting, you know, the experience needed, and they're having breakout years. This is a great opportunity for them.
Leo Santos in the blue here, still young in his 20s, very early in his black belt. Houn in the black, just turned 30 yesterday, so there is a little bit of a difference in age and experience here. And I'm very interested in seeing how experience plays a factor in this matchup.
Well, it's already looking pretty good for him, even though you're seeing Santos really trying to push a pace here in his guard. Getting active with his legs, trying to get good grips.
Santos is very effective if he can control one sleeve and one pant leg. He has a ton of sweeping opportunities from there. Also really dangerous if he can settle into close guard. You'll see Houn taking a really kind of tight positioning, trying to prevent that close guard and establishing some passing threats early on here. He gets that cross grip, and he's looking for a pant grip. This is one of his most effective sweeping positions. Again, keymaster or modified keymaster here. Santos looking to come up, but gives an angle for Houn to start his passing opportunity.
And again, that's that experience coming in for now.
One thing about Santos, early on in his black belt career, he has a tremendous scoreboard discipline. He knows when he needs to score. He knows when he needs to prevent. He knows exactly the moment where he has to get up to his feet in order to stop the score from coming on. Big throw attempt here from Santos, but nothing doing. And Houn goes to pull guard. Santos immediately getting dynamic.
There's that youth. You see him trying to explode past the guard.
Generally, Santos does a very good job of not getting caught in middle range. He'll pass from the outside until the moment where he has the angle to get in nice and tight. He doesn't like to play in the middle. He'll either use his speed and explosiveness to get close, or he'll stay very tight and force half guard.
The young man's game. Just use that explosiveness, that athleticism to get past.
Got a passivity penalty coming in the way of Santos. He starts engaging a little closer. Now we're looking again side to side passing here. Houn though on a leg.
Yep. He's wrestling up, attacking the leg.
A great double threat there. First the threat in the sweep, and then sitting back on the footlock. Picks up a couple of advantages for that effort. And he does get the delayed 2 points there for the sweep as well for coming on top. But now just so good with those two weapons specifically. The loop choke, which we haven't seen much of yet. Santos has done a really good job of clearing grips. But that foot lock, the moment it falls in his lap, he starts ripping on it.
And I mean, he was looking for an angle right away. And you kind of always see him kind of feeling for it too. Santos with a good recovery there.
Good angle here from Houn.
Santos adjusting his grips.
Houn's doing a very good job of keeping his base low. Santos is most dangerous when he has pan grips or when he has closed guard. And with that low base like that, it's making him reach and put himself into positions like this where he's now in on a tighter passing threat than he's seen thus far. Way to capitalize on some desperation there. Santos just trying really hard to pull Houn over the top, and Houn uses it to nearly pass. We'll see what the referees decide here on the score.
Uh-oh.
Houn with the collar grip and hand and chest to back connection. There's another kind of double threat coming up here.
Santos trying to break that grip around his neck.
Does a good job of getting the grip out of the hand, but the back is still exposed. And equally as important, time winding down with Houn really on the offensive now.
On the offensive, up 2 points, in a good position. Just those are veteran moves that we're seeing. Definitely veteran moves.
And with 20 seconds on the clock, this deep half guard position should seal the deal. Got the cross face, he's got the hip connection. Houn's content to watch the clock wind down. Might transition off here for a Kimura attempt. Veteranship demonstrated by Lotus Club's Leonardo Houn. Leandro Houn, he will take the win here over Leonardo Santos.
Resultado oficial.
Leandro Houn gets his hand raised. He takes the win. Really impressive performance there. And exactly, as you said, Manny, a display of veterancy.
Yeah, definitely you could see that's what the difference was. He made the right choices at the right time.
We'll take a look at some of the best moments here. Santos opened this up with a little bit of a flurry, really using his youth, his energy, and putting on a good display of passing here. But as Houn drops back for this footlock, it seems like the momentum of the match swayed a little bit. This footlock, not enough to finish the match, but enough to steal some of the momentum, put himself in a top position to score, and then a passing position to start really improving on his lead.
And also I think once that attack happened, it also put him in a good headspace and definitely put Santos on the defensive. And once he was on the defensive, it was just a different game.
A couple of really clean near passes here. Wasn't able to settle the position, but that back step and some of these rolling attacks into this back choke, for example, looked just really polished.
That grip was a lot tighter than I thought it was originally. And Santos was able to break that grip and at least make it to the end.
we're going to hear from the winner here, Leandro Houn.
Vou entrevistar o campeão, depois ele pega o troféu. Leandro Ronald, também conhecido como R9, Ronaldinho. Abre o paletó, por gentileza, e mostra o que tem tatuado no peito. É Jiu-Jitsu. Conta pra gente qual é o segredo para parar o Leozinho, o Léo Santos, homônimo, né? Já é nome de craque. Leozinho, que é consagrado agora, é um tufão, é um tornado na categoria dos pesos pena da nova geração. Quanta força, mais um Manauara Peak Blinders, quanta força e quanta técnica foram necessárias para poder parar o Leozinho.
Boa noite a todos. Obrigado pela oportunidade de estar aqui mostrando meu trabalho. Então, não tem segredo nenhum, o segredo é trabalhar todos os dias, ter uma alimentação boa, preparador físico bom, uma nutri boa. Eu perdi muito peso para estar aqui hoje e graças a Deus deu tudo certo.
Você tem fama de sapateiro, prometeu honrar com a chave de pé, ele garantiu o estrangulamento, mas quem chegou muito próximo de estrangular foi você. O que faltou ali?
Então, no pé, eu acho que machucou, que deu umas 3 estraladas, só que ele defendeu bem, defendeu da forma correta. E ele falou que ia pegar minhas costas e no final eu que acabei pegando as costas dele, mas ele defendeu bem também. Mas é isso, luta é luta e estamos aí pro próximo.
Beleza, você vai receber o seu prêmio, o seu troféu de campeão. Só mais uma pergunta, como é que você se sente finalmente garantindo uma vitória para Lotus esse ano no BJJ Stars?
Eu me sinto privilegiado, honrado por estar representando essa grande equipe, Lotus Clube, e é isso.
Leandro Ronald, R9, fenômeno, parabéns. Premiação, por gentileza.
Premiação oficial com o Fernando Ataíde, CEO da Iron Belts.
Leandro Houn gets his trophy. Coming up next on BJJ Stars 18, we will see Luis Cantareira versus Guilherme Augusto. That'll be after this break. We will be right back.
Os superpoderes não nascem do acaso. Eles foram forjados detalhe por detalhe. Não se esqueça, com grandes poderes vem grandes responsabilidades.
Seja seu próprio super-herói. Tenha uma faixa Iron Belt.
Sem perder tempo, vamos para a luta de número 3, próxima luta da noite. Um oferecimento Keiko Sports. Representando a equipe Instituto Leandro Lô, Fernando Cantareira.
Luis Fernando Cantareira making his walk to the mat now. He took double gold earlier this year at the European, representing Fratres now. This will be his 4th match with Guilherme Augusto. He owns the 2 of that 2-1 differential here.
I love rematches.
E para enfrentá-lo, representando a equipe Aliança, Guilherme Augusto!
And representing Alliance, Guilherme Augusto making his walk to the mat. As we said, Cantareira has a 2-1 lead in their history so far, but Augusto has the only submission in that trilogy, looking to settle the score tonight against the Fratries representative.
That's the best part about being so active in competition. You have those opportunities. You're seeing the same people over and over again, but you're always evolving, you're always getting better.
In their last 3 encounters, Cantareira has pulled guard right away. He says he wants to wrestle with Augusto in this matchup. Let's see if he sticks to his word. Augusto in the white, Cantareira in the black.
So far, nope.
Maybe he felt something in the grips that he didn't like. But Cantareira going back to the game that has worked so well for him so far throughout this season and in his trilogy with Guilherme Augusto.
And he's had a very active season. Right now, he's really fighting to get his hips back in the game. And that's the thing about these big guys now. They're definitely a lot more mobile, a lot better guards. Good elevation there.
Lots of dynamic movement from Augusto to get to the side and gets Cantareira back to his feet. We're going to reset there. Watch for this Sayonagi attempt from Augusto. He doesn't like to go over the head so much as right off to the corner. So he'd be looking towards his left side to hit this throw. But Cantareira wants none of that. Pulls this time to closed guard.
Yeah, he definitely learned his lesson. Pulled the close. Looking for that lapel grip.
Augusto's a big guy. He does such a good job of being agile, especially in those passing attempts. He gets his head and his chest forward and he lets his legs do all the work. Great little sweep attempt there. Not able. Oh,
yeah, he got it.
Let's come up with it. Big effort. Tacks on an advantage to the scoreboard. And Cantareira takes an early lead here.
That was an excellent sweep attempt.
Has to be reassuring too, as Cantareira, to know, okay, we have a solution here for this guy's pressure, because Augusto does have some of the best pressure passing in the game. As we reset, I'm curious to see if Cantareira is going to go back to the well here, look for another pull to close guard.
I imagine he will. I just think it's a smart strategy on his behalf. Definitely, the more as a big guy you can put your legs to work and give your arms a little bit of a rest, I think the better off you are the longer the match goes.
Cantareira too has a lot of pride in his guard during some of the pre-match press conferences here. Oh, we do see some wrestling from Cantareira.
Yeah.
But Augusto was saying in the one submission he has, the one win he has over Cantareira, it was Kimura from side control. Cantareira made sure to say, no, it wasn't from side control, you got half guard. So very, very proud of his guard. Said, you cannot pass you can submit me, but you're not passing my guard. And we'll see Cantareira work again from this close guard that has been the most effective part of his game in this match so far. Augusto now a little bit more cautious about standing up. Cantareira once again looking for that overhead sweep.
And he's just really good about off balancing from his close guard, even with a big guy with a good base.
Better now from Augusto. Good job separating the hips and getting into this passing scenario. Not out of the woods yet, though, as Cantareira gets a leg and enters into the X guard.
He's still just off balancing. He's going with it. Thought he was going to wrestle up there.
A little bit of overextension, though, and Augusto enters into the hip fold here, the leg weave. And with the crossface, the boot has Cantareira extended out now.
And what a cross.
Still deep in this leg drag, but he has to settle it. He has to let it go and give the guard back to Cantareira. He does earn himself an advantage for that, though, to tie the score up at 1 advantage apiece.
That's going to put more pressure on Cantareira here. And you can see him starting to breathe a little bit heavy.
You see the referee looking on very closely. Important to note again that BJJ Stars asks their referees to be very aggressive with inactivity and stalling calls. And we'll see 1 apiece here.
Yep. Yeah, we want action. They want action here. You got to be looking for something. You can't be holding.
Good positional discipline now from Augusto to keep his elbows on the inside. He knows Cantareira wants to get back to that closed guard. He's not going to let it happen easily. Augusto doing everything he can to get rid of those grips, but it looks like Cantareira's hands are just glued to his sleeves.
He really is putting a lot of pressure with his hip, trying to get clear of that.
Now, that lasso on what would be Cantareira's right side, it's just close enough to a leg drag to make Augusto want to hang on to that leg position. But the sleeve grip is so much to deal with on that side that the arm is kind of restricted in motion. You can't really open the elbow too much. Better angle for Augusto now, though.
Yeah, using his hip there to create that angle.
Less than a minute now, tied score, and really anybody's ball game. I wouldn't want to leave this up to the judges. And we'll get another penalty apiece and stand them back up.
It was just a really difficult position to try and advance to, especially after being elevated. If you're Augusto, after almost swept, and he was really playing it safe for a reason.
Some jiu-jitsu purists would say let the stalemate happen, let them figure out their way through the position, but as a spectator sport, I think we all want to see some positions are just stalemates. You know, we're trapped in this position. This could go on for an hour, and better to let the jiu-jitsu happen in a different position if neither of us can get anything done here.
Absolutely, and I do love the format. I do love that they push for action. Sometimes a restart's what it takes.
Scoreboard all tied up. 20 seconds left. Important to note here, I think, that one more penalty in either direction would go down as a disqualification. So both of these guys have to be minding their manners as the match winds down. Cantareira once again pulling to what's nearly a closed guard. See if we get a little flurry here from Augusto. We're going to go to decision on this one. It's a tricky one to call. No clear favorite. Both men had their moments in this matchup. The score is settled. Guilherme Augusto takes another win, bringing their history, their matchup history to 2 apiece.
I mean, you hate to be a judge in those close matches just because it really is the slightest thing that's going to push you over the edge.
Both men honoring Leandro low. That is a cause that unites everybody in the sport of Jiu-Jitsu. And I wouldn't be surprised if they are not the only athletes to call attention to Leandro low in tonight's event.
Premiação Júnior, Peaky Blinder da Keiko. Melhores momentos no telão.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this matchup. Augusto.
Obrigado, Román. Guizão, nada mal para 2 pesadíssimos, mais de 110 quilos. Como é que você conseguiu lidar com aqueles tentáculos tão letais do Canta?
Realmente, tem toda a tensão, o peso. Eu vim com uma responsabilidade a mais de querer performar mesmo, de querer me jogar na luta. E na verdade, é a 4ª vez que eu luto com o Cantareira. É sempre muito difícil, por mais que eu seja um cara grande, eu acho que ele é ainda mais alto, né? Então esse biotipo faz um pouco de diferença. Mas graças a Deus deu certo, né?
Graças a Deus deu certo. Agora eu te pergunto, você sabe por que você venceu?
Por que eu venci? Cara, eu costumo fazer um exercício do quanto eu mereço isso, né? Obviamente isso vem muito de como eu me preparei, do que eu abri mão, se eu fiz minha preparação, se eu descansei certo, se eu comi certo. E hoje de manhã, olhando no espelho, eu fiz um checklist de tudo e a minha resposta foi sempre, cara, eu mereço. Eu mereço. É isso.
Bacana. Eu não ia cortar, não era uma pergunta retórica, era uma pergunta bem técnica mesmo. Excelente explanação, mas você venceu porque ele puxou para a guarda por último e você empatou na vantagem. Tecnicamente foi assim. Agora vocês estão 2-2. Merece um tira-teima. Procede? Você finalizou, né? Tem peso 2?
Eu conversei ontem que, na verdade, vitória é vitória, derrota é derrota, mas se eu tivesse sido finalizado, acho que doeria um pouquinho mais. Então, acho que para ele é um pouquinho mais difícil de dormir, para mim tá tudo certo.
Show de bola, Guizão. Excelente performance, excelente desempenho. Palavras, Peaky Blinders finais?
Na verdade, eu só queria deixar um muito obrigado É difícil dar nomes, porque são muitas pessoas que fazem parte disso, mas eu queria deixar um muito obrigado a Deus, primeiramente. Obviamente, Ele sabe todas as dificuldades e me permitiu estar aqui, mas um muito obrigado à minha família. Minha esposa está em casa, cuidando dos nossos meninos. Meu filho completou um mês agora e ela está lá segurando a onda. Já estou 3 semanas aqui me preparando, então deixo muito obrigado para ela, todos os meus alunos lá da academia, no Arkansas, Estados Unidos, e obviamente toda a minha equipe que me deu suporte na Aliança São Paulo, Michael Lang, Dimitrio, Serginho faz muito parte disso, todos os professores da Aliança São Paulo, Espira, Fernandinho, enfim, toda a galera, o Scooby, que, ele foi ali meu parâmetro, né, de adversário mais alto, e mais uma vez é difícil dar nomes, mas Black Armor, que me patrocina, meu preparador físico, toda a minha família, meu sogro, Luiz, Pati, vocês estão no meu coração, obrigado.
Parabéns pelo filhão, linda vitória, linda homenagem ao Leandro Lô e o déjà vu. Lembrando que o Guizão voltou 10 anos atrás, primeiro ano de faixa preta, ele lutou no BJJ Stars há uma década.
É verdade.
Vamos com você.
If you are joining us on the YouTube stream for BJJ Stars 18, that is the end of our live preview. Go to FloGrappling.com to watch the rest of the event. We will be right back.
On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Continuar incendiando o parquinho, vamos dar continuidade à nossa noite de lutas. Oferecimento Casa Mr. Lion do MD Chef, representando a equipe Barreto Jiu-Jitsu, Andressa Guirau.
Andressa Guirau making her walk to the mat. She is the reigning 2025 IBJJF silver medalist at black belt. She'll be taking on the rookie in Giovana Oliveira.
Para enfrentá-la, vem aí outra guerreira. Para enfrentá-la, representando a equipe Almeida Jiu-Jitsu, vem aí ela, Giovana Oliveira.
And from Almeida Jiu-Jitsu, Giovana Oliveira making her return to BJJ Stars after winning the Brown Belt World Championships back earlier this year. She put on an impressive performance in her BJJ Stars debut where she won via arm lock from the stack pass. Oliveira is generally a guard player, so watching her passing game lead to a submission was quite the treat. Giovana Oliveira in the black, Andressa Guirau in the blue. Let's see, we got a double guard sit here. Oliveira right on the footlock.
Looking for that angle.
Uses it to stand up and takes the advantage for coming to the top position. Guirau has a really strong spider guard, so interesting to see how Oliveira deals with the legs. She's doing a great job right now of stapling that one leg down to get that spider guard non-threatening. We get a stoppage here to recenter. Oliveira just doing a really good job staying diligent with that leg on her left side for now, making sure that both legs never have a mutual opportunity to stand on Oliveira's arms and shoulders.
Oliveira's readjusting that grip. She's got a good angle there.
Big off balance here and looking for a triangle right off the bat. But Oliveira doing a great job of keeping herself low. She spends a lot of time in the training room with IBJJF World Champion Bianca Basilio. Bianca, one of the best lighter weight guard passers in the business. So I'm sure she spent a lot of time working on her pressure, developing her pressure with Bia. And that whole team that Basilio and her coach Almeida have put together, just a stacked room of really tough, pressure-oriented women at the black belt level, especially in the featherweight, the light featherweight categories. And we're seeing some of that pressure come out now in the game of Giovana Oliveira.
Definitely seeing the pressure. You got Andressa inverting.
Now this is the same position that she submitted Jessica Carolini from in her last appearance at BJJ Stars. This stack position. She's going to use it to secure the pass if she can keep her head low enough.
She's got that chest connection. She's passed.
And the referees award the points for the guard pass. Now Oliveira gets to work and advancing to the back. Kimura grip though. Patiently improving that grip.
Wow, what a beautiful transition there.
That triangle looks super tight.
Yep, very tight.
You get a stretch on the arm.
She's still got plenty of time.
Andressa is doing a good job of working her posture here, but those legs are so high behind her head. This is a really tough kind of triangle to sneak out of.
It seems like the position's getting worse for her.
Giovana just improving, working both arms, attacking the near arm, kind of peeling the far arm, keeping the pressure on the triangle. This looks like a last-ditch effort from Andressa.
And you see her trying to use that knee to create a little bit of space, create a little angle, but it's just getting worse for her here in this position.
Switch to the arm. Andressa doing everything she can to shake the legs. And Giovana moves back to the armbar. Andressa looks like she might be clear of this.
She's right back in it, but wow, that was an amazing transition. It seemed like she was out.
If there's any victory in that from Andressa, at least the lock isn't directly behind her head anymore. She'll have a little bit more opportunity to posture, but will she have the endurance left in her back and her legs to maintain that posture?
She's probably wishing she didn't do those gymnastics getting onto the stage here.
She does look at least relatively unfazed by this position, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think the angle, like you were saying, I think it's just a little bit shy of real bad danger, but I mean, she's been in it a while. Does seem like she's more comfortable here.
Still, the threat of the triangle is just one of the impacts of that triangle. The other thing is time is ticking away, and there's no offense for Andressa in sight. Giovana relocks behind the head once again. Again, kind of changing her angle to tighten the lock. 20 seconds left. She wants this finish.
Yeah, she's got her hand in play now too, taking even more space away.
We'll go back to the arms here.
Wow.
Giovana Oliveira was asking for a submission bonus before the match started. She got close but was not able to finish. Either way, though, she walks home with the victory here. Another impressive performance from somebody who's becoming a real dynamic submission threat early in her black belt career.
And she showed a lot. She showed a lot in the lead up.
Keep your eyes on Giovana Oliveira, a real breakout star this year, somebody who's put on quite a few impressive performances, including her brown belt run, and now taking on some of the best black belts in the world. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that match. As soon as Giovana takes his top position, she starts really applying pressure. Had to weather the storm of this spider guard from Andressa. And Andressa had a couple of really good off-balancing opportunities, but the moment that Giovana switched into passing, stayed patient here, made sure to secure her points. But when she got the points, submission is on the hunt, looking for this Kimura, which becomes an armbar, which ultimately becomes a triangle. Let's take a look at the transition into the triangle. And here's where we spent the rest of the match, huh, Manny?
Yeah, absolutely. You saw her attacking the triangle, then extending the arm, going back and forth, just keeping pressure on. There was the slight almost escape by Andressa, but she stayed with the arm and then came right back on top and locked it right back into the triangle and was able to finish the match off there.
Absolutely killer instinct from Giovana Oliveira, looking for a submission the moment she had the lead and not stopping in the hunt. Let's hear from our winner.
Implacável. caçadora implacável. Gi, do BJJ Stars 17 para o BJJ Stars 18, apenas 3 lutadores lutaram consecutivamente. Você, o Ridão e o Mei. Está explicado por que você retorna hoje. A busca da Kimura para a transição para as costas, para o braço, para o triângulo. O que faltou para você atochar e abotoar a Dessa, que é uma tremenda de uma guerreira?
Pra falar a verdade, não faltou nada. É que ela é bem flexível mesmo, ela é bem forte. Tava bem encaixado, mas ela, se eu não me engano, ela foi ginasta também, ela é muito flexível. E realmente senti dificuldade de pegar. Eu vi que tava num talo, mas ela foi forte e conseguiu segurar.
No talo eu acho até que já está concorrendo à luta da noite, indiscutivelmente, e ao clique BJJ Stars, porque a foto do braço muito envergada, você sentiu, você escutou, está lá?
Eu não ouvi, mas eu senti o braço, tipo, envergando mesmo, mas chegar a estralar eu não ouvi.
Bem, na edição 17 você venceu uma medalha de bronze no Mundial. Na edição de número 18 você acaba de vencer uma medalha de prata no Mundial. Quem você mira agora para o seu próximo confronto? Com muita moral.
Pra falar a verdade, eu quero o cinturão agora. Será que eu tenho moral agora, Fepa? De estar disputando o cinturão? Olha ele ali, ó. É isso.
Sim, mas a coroa pertencente a quem?
Se não me engano, é a Júlia, tá certo? Oi? É a Ana? Ah, a Ana, então.
É porque a Júlia e a Ana fizeram um cinturão unicórnio, uma mistura das duas categorias. Você pode desafiar a campeã que você quiser.
Quero a da pena. Quero o cinturão da pena.
Você quer a A-Rod?
Isso.
Beleza, moral você tem, porque você finalizou a Jéssica Caroline no braço muito rapidamente, e muito rapidamente você deu um bote triplo. Kimura, triângulo e braço na Dessa, que é uma casca grossa. Eu acho que você está totalmente consolidada e classificada e condecorada para poder disputar o cinturão.
É isso aí.
Show de bola. Mais uma exibição sensacional. Luta feminina não decepciona. Eu volto com você, Román.
Giovana Oliveira says, that's enough. Give me a title shot. She wants a match against A-Rod on her next BJJ Stars appearance. Would love to see that one. We will be right back for more from BJJ Stars 18.
It's Spartan time.
Segurem com as duas mãos, ela é mais forte que vocês.
Mais força, menos amargor. Estilo Spartan de ser forte. Beba com moderação.
Vem, Magalhães, rojão, traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer a maçã. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de colhão, vem curtir o verão.
Galera, antes de darmos continuidade a essa grande noite de lutas, vamos fazer um pequeno intervalo, 10 minutinhos. Você pode andar por aí, sair, esticar as pernas. Aproveite o nosso lounge aqui fora, com música, comes e bebes, bar. Vamos lá, 10 minutinhos, a gente está de volta e dá continuidade ao nosso show. A gente se vê em 10 minutos, pessoal.